We welcome you into beautiful Rose Stamps Field here in Atlanta, Georgia, on the campus of the Georgia Tech and the University of Georgia, taking on Georgia Tech. Joe Hilsman, Bob Lombardo here with you from Rose Stamps Field. 55 degrees. The wind will be whipping 15 to 25 miles an hour through our mics, but it is a sun-splash day. The 45th reunion of Georgia Tech lacrosse held today. And then we're going to have some clean, old-fashioned hate. The Dogs and the Jackets, Bob, two undefeated teams.
Amen. This is going to be a good game. They're coming in. One is Tech comes in at 10-0, number one in the conference. And right behind them is University of Georgia at 12-0. So it'll be interesting. We got the second-ranked Tech nationally, and we have UGA at 26.
A rambling wreck from Georgia Tech. They've got the pep band out there, and they just ran that beautiful car out there, out onto the field. Let's take a look at our head coaches. First, for the number 2 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, Ken Lovick, and you know all about the history that he's had here at this Georgia Tech program, Bob.
Oh, Ken Lovick, he's been around. He's been here for, I believe, 8-9 years, and he's been getting it done. He's been coach of the year. He has a sorry about that win, ladies and gentlemen.
They're going to have to get used to it. Ken Lovick has done a fine job. They're 10-0 this year. On the flip side, for the Georgia Bulldogs, their head coach is Billy O'Hare, and the Dogs come in at 12-0 under Coach O'Hare. And as we mentioned, Tech number 2, Georgia, they are first in receiving votes, 45 votes, which brings them in at number 26, so just outside of the top 25. They are trying to get in there and crack that top 25.
All right, I'm going to go jump back for a minute, Joel, and give Coach Lovick a little more love. He's coached 123 games. He came here in 2009 through the present at 8 years at coaching. He, as a head coach, is 85-38. He has a conference record of 29-9. He has a playoff record of 5-5 and a tournament record of 1-1. And he won the Coach of the Year in 2015. His assistants are E.J. Freeman, J.J. Armino, and Matt Edmonds.
And there you have it. That's Coach Ken Lovick for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Let's take a look at our key players first. For the second-ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, Brian Connolly, Tim Peterson, and Chris O'Brien. We will be speaking of them all day. Brian Connolly, the leading point scorer here for this Georgia Tech team, coming in at 60 points, tallying 34 goals and 26 assists. Chris O'Brien would be second, and Tim Peterson would be third. But Georgia Tech, a very, very high-scoring team overall, have had 3 consecutive games of over 20 points, 20 goals scored. And they've had 4 total games this season. The team with 24 goals.
They've had an unbelievable year so far. They've scored 142 goals and have goals and given up 42.
All right, there it is. So it'll be the Dogs and the Jackets, clean old-fashioned hate. He's Bob Lombardo. I'm Joel Hilsman. Glad that you're with us. Lacrosse Fire TV, Rose Stamps Field. It's beautiful. Beautiful skyline. The sun is out beautifully and the wind is whipping. It'll be a 3-man crew, 15-minute quarters. And we'll take a look here briefly as the Dogs get ready. Georgia's key players, Whit Anderson, Cayman Saturday, and Sean Carruthers. And those are the 3 guys that are going to do the heavy lifting. Whit Anderson leading Georgia in points at 38 points, coming in tallying 23 goals and 15 assists. He is a junior, and Carruthers a sophomore. And Cayman Sudderdeath, the lone senior, but they're 29 points, 15 goals, and 14 assists. A balanced effort there from Cayman.
Well, I got to tell you a little story about Whit Anderson. He was my neighbor.
Uh-oh, we're going to get some good info tonight then.
And at 10 years old, he would come around and watch my boys play, throwing the ball back and forth with lacrosse sticks, because I was that crazy Yankee that had those.
Well, we're going to see if your backyard coach it helps him today.
Well, I gave him a stick, and the rest is history.
There you go. The Dogs and the Jackets, as we line up here, the starting lineups there are making their way out here at the midfield line. The Tech Jackets at home, they'll be all in white. White tops, white bottoms. Navy numbers, and then they got those gold hats. The Dogs all in black. Black tops, black bottoms, red numbers, and the hats are white and red as they get ready to line it up. The Dogs and the Jackets in lacrosse. But either way, it's still considered clean, old-fashioned hate. In net now for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. He's a good one. Number 15, a senior out of Marietta and Pope High School, Matthew Sommerfeld. For the Georgia Bulldogs, he's also a good one. Connor Redmond, a freshman. And, man, he is really doing his work. He is a sophomore, really doing his work there in goal. 112 saves on the season for number 44, Connor Redmond. The opening face-off, 15 minutes on the clock. We are underway at Rose Stamps Field, and Georgia Tech will win the opening face-off.
Tech takes the ball and goes down the alley immediately.
Over in that right alley now, holding it is Conley now going to make a move. Long pole really popped him. Pass across. There's a shot high. Out of the wind. Out, and it will stay with Tech. Then whipping in at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Gust maybe up to 25 to 30. So you'll have to bear with us. But that's how you know we're here. We're not somewhere stuck in a studio.
No, we're not in some warm studio. We're out here braving the elements for the lacrosse fans.
Radke gets it across. They're over on the left side, inside the box, brings it back. Good long pole defense to take away the alley. Back to Radke. They'll spin it back this way, and now he'll set it up with Holland Frost. Frost steps into the box, makes his move to the right. Frost kicks it back in behind, and Tech now being patient as they work with it offensively and work it all the way back around to Radke out at the top of the box.
Right now they're running a little 3-1-2, back down the alley.
Radke stepped into that box. Long pole defense came and poked at him just a little bit. Good defensive effort there by Jake McBee.
They're going through that feeling out process.
Frost, shot, wide left, scooped up in, back behind, and now Tech with an in. On a shot, Chris O'Brien at 13:35. 13:53, O'Brien with the goal for Tech, and it is 1-0 already.
That was a nice shot. The key to that was the backup by the attackman behind the cage, because he missed the shot, he picked it up, fed it right out top, and boom.
Had the defense moving, and then opened it up. So Tech wins that first faceoff, and they score on their first possession. A minute gone by, 13:53. The Dogs and the Jackets, number 2 versus unranked, but highly unranked there at number 26 if you want to be technical. Tech and Holland Frost will win the second faceoff. And Frost gets it down on the left side. They'll hold it. Here's Peterson. Peterson now will go back in behind and spin it around to Mertz. Mertz will kick it back out to Conley. Conley in that right alley. They'll fire it back around, and the Jackets set it up with Jared Gant. Gant to Frost. Frost back over now. They'll dump it back in. Working it around. Long pole defense now going to step up for the Dogs. Eric Reynolds, a long pole, working with it. Now here's Radke. Radke out at the top for the Jackets. They're moving left to right. Passes it into the box and recovers. Frost now goes, and they're back in behind. Working with 2 men back behind, and now here's Conley. Conley fires it back out, and here's Ben Mertz. Mertz had a fine day last time we saw him, Bob, up against those Michigan State Spartans.
Yeah, Ben Mertz is a Grayson graduate over in Loganville, Georgia.
Mertz gets it in. There's a shot. Radke. Redmond on the save. And now the Dogs will come back, not paying attention, but able to recover it, and here they come, working and then try to get the clear for the first time on their first possession. Now here's Redmond. Redmond out of net. Georgia with trouble now clearing it as substitutions are made, and here they'll come across the midfield line. Got to get it into that box. Moving all the way. Ball is on the ground. Lost it. Ground ball. Fight for it. Scooped up, and the Jackets are get it. And here's big Will Byers, and Byers bodying his way down there. That's Alex O'Connell, excuse me. O'Connell gets it over. There's Conley. Conley lost it. It's on the ground, and now we're getting physical.
Oh, that was a
and Conley is laid out.
Number 29.
Alex O'Connell is laid out from St. Christopher's. Man, he took a shot. I think he's going to be up and on his feet. Coach Chris O'Brien takes a look at him, and let's see. It'll be possession to the Jackets.
29, who's that there? Is it 23?
For Georgia
numbers are tough to read.
Yeah, 23. That's going to be Aaron Amon, a sophomore out of North Gwinnett High School, whose school is currently ranked number 1 in Georgia.
They're playing good ball this year down on the high school level.
Standing room crowd here in Rose Stamps Field. A wind is whipping here in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Joel Hillsman, Bob Lombardo, glad that you're with us. 1-0 Georgia Tech with the lead. We've played just over 2.5 minutes. Mertz over in the left alley. and he will set it up. Defensively coming out is Jack Salas. Salas really put a body on him. Mertz with a few nifty moves. Mertz now going to shoot it into the middle. It was knocked away. Good defense by the long pole and Evan Sather. Sather now going to come with it, coming out on a ride and getting a clear past the midfield line, trying to get it down into the alley. Spins back out.
There it is.
Out of bounds.
Nice hustle by 2-7.
Ben Mertz, great
Mertz
play.
just working hard
And
on the
then-
ride.
Tech now coming back quickly. Here's Conley. Conley gonna go in. Conley with a shot. No, it's wide to the left. And let's see, crease violation. It'll go to Georgia.
We haven't seen Georgia on offense up to this point with 11:50 left.
They have yet to get it into the box at all.
I'm telling you, I got to credit. We talked about it against Michigan State, the Tech game, Michigan State game. Tech does a great job riding. They don't just give it up. They make you work for it.
Tech retains the possession. My apologies as they work it around now. Conley goes back in behind. They kick it way out high out of the box now. Here's Holland Frost. Frost looking to make his move. Stepped into the box, now stepped back out, now fires it down and they're working back around. Tech being patient. Here's Mertz. Mertz, a shot wide right. Tech will chase it down and retain the possession. Buck Woodcox, a junior out of Riverwood High School, in now for Georgia. There's a shot from the top. Frost, saved by Redmond. Holland Frost was right there on goal, and Redmond came away with a fine block and a fine save. And now here come the Dogs. The Dogs have not gotten that ball into the box. Lost it around the midfield line. It's a long ground ball. They hustle and fight for it down there. And Holland Frost will come away with it. Georgia cannot get the ball into the box.
That's a bad. They got to be able to get the ball in the box and get a little offense generated with this.
Frost, the assist, the goal.
There's a perfect example. They couldn't get in the box. The ball's on the ground. They hustle. Tech picks it up and transition goal.
Tim Peterson at 10:41 with the assist from Holland Frost. It's 2-0 Georgia Tech. Oh, the Dogs are really struggling, and Georgia Tech trying to flex that muscle. And as you mentioned, Bob, capitalizing off of the mistakes of Georgia. Georgia has not gotten that ball into the box at all today so far.
No, and again, it's not such a lack of UGA not handling it. It's just Tech is putting a lot of pressure on the ride. They don't. And there's another quick goal.
Bang, bang, bang. Making it look real easy. Tim Peterson, back-to-back goals. Tech opening it up now. It's 3-0. That one coming at 10:34, 7 seconds apart.
Okay, the black and red has to do something to stem the bleeding, because right now Tech looks like to be in control of this game. They have had nothing on offense since the first face-off. So I'm looking forward to Georgia getting the ball. They're going to probably pass it around, settle down, and then work their offense.
Andrew Yee came in and won that last face-off, coming in 77% on the face-offs, give him one more. Tech with a 3-0 advantage in the face-off. Ball is still on the ground. Georgia can't pick it up. The Jackets can't pick it up. It's still on the ground. The Jackets try to scoop it. Now it's into the box, and Georgia still can't pick it up. It's in their own box, and they can't pick it up. They get the ground ball. The Dogs win a face-off final.
All right, they're on the board with the first face-off, but yet, we have our first penalty of the game.
Yep, penalty coming. Tech being very physical. Georgia still looking rattled at the moment here in the first 4 minutes.
We have a hold on.
Hold will be on Tech, so the Dogs now will go a man up.
Can't catch his number. It might be 38 maybe for Tech.
Across the way, table on the other side. There's no 38 listed on the official roster.
So much for my old eyes. 35.
35 would be correct, and that's David Cyron.
There you go.
Look at this. Georgia is in the box. And a man up. Anderson now spins it back out. They'll kick it and whip it all the way back around there. Sam Hardy. Now they back it out. There's a nice little move. He tries to make it, and he goes this way. That's John Newer. Ball is on the ground. It's in the box. Now he picks it up, scooped out on the alley, and now working with it is Phil McCarthy. Georgia makes a move. Shot. Goal! A man up. First time in the box, and they score, and they needed that.
They did. I told you they needed to stem the bleeding, and they did with that shot. It was
I think that was number 8 there. It was Carruthers, Sean Carruthers. At 9:41, it's 3-1.
That was a nice play. They got the ball moving and found the open man, and he just put it away.
1 for 1 on the man-up advantage. It was releasable, so we now go back to even strength. 9:43 to go first quarter. Georgia finally was able to get it into the box, and it was in a man-up situation, and they score. 3-1 face-off advantage for the Jackets. Holland, Frost, and they're battling with it. Tech will scoop it up and win that face-off. 4-1 advantage, and now here come the Jackets and Ben Mertz. Mertz into the box, swings it over. There's a low shot. Redmond came in there and saved it. Shot taken in there low by Jared Gant. So the Dogs now will come back and try and get something going here. Sather coming up with a long pole, stopped at the midfield line and passed it across, and now here come the Dogs. They're working into the box, and working with it is Jack Salas. Salas gets it over, and here's Anderson. Anderson goes back in behind for the Dogs, and they'll set it up in the box. McCarthy.
Both teams are subbing on the fly right now. UGA is bringing in their offensive power, and we'll see what they can do.
We'll have to. On the attack. They have not been on the attack often, but the last time they were down here, they were a man up and they scored. Here's Phil McCarthy, slipped over the left side, gives it back out to the top of the box, and here's Kamen. Kamen now will spin it back out, and they'll work it back around.
Let's see what Anderson has, because he's been a little quiet, their leading scorer.
The 8 and the 9, as you mentioned, very hard to read the Georgia numbers. So excuse me if I slip with the 8 and the 9. The 8 is Sean Carruthers, and the 9 is John Newer. Dogs working it around now, trying to take their time and be patient. Also, Corey Phillips is in. Here's a take now by Newer into the box. It's not there. They'll work it back in behind. Georgia being patient, but now Anderson wants to make a move coming from behind. Took the body, the shot, it's in front. A save, picked up by Summerfelt. Summerfelt hit, ball is on the ground. They're fighting for it. It's still on the ground, and now here comes Holland Frost away with it. Nice. No, Summerfelt, the goalie with it. Spins it up ahead. There's the pass up to Conley. Conley got checked really hard. Now he's going to go into the box. Conley now in, looking. Now he's going to go all the way. Spin right in the middle. Shot, bouncing back out. Peterson will retain it. Georgia and Georgia Tech both being very physical, and right now I love it.
Very physical.
You said it earlier right before we went on air when they came in their warm-ups and the warm-up line and the midfield line. There was a lot of pleasant conversation.
Yeah, they're having some jovial exchanges as they both ran across the midfield line. So I think we just had a flag on the play. I didn't see it, but it looks like UGA is a man down.
Tech a man up. And now here are the Jackets working with Frost. Frost now spins it to the right. Now he gets it back. He's to the top of the box. Now spins it over to the left. Mertz now will send it in. Georgia now a man down defensively. Tech, first time in their opportunity with the man up. Georgia 1 of 1 on their man ups already. 7.5 to go first quarter. Mertz lost it. Now Mertz is going to pick it up. O'Brien to Frost. Frost now to Conley. Conley tried to go to Ratke. He lost it.
Yeah, he got a little too quick with that.
Connor Redmond now going to come away with it, the goalie, as Georgia now will try to clear. Substitutions on the fly again by the Jackets and the Dogs. There's a move inside, and he lost it right there. Was Salas.
Again, Tech rides hard and comes back with the ball.
Under 7 minutes to go. Georgia, as we can see in this ball game so far, and that's because of the Yellow Jackets, they are struggling clearing the ball.
Again, it's tip your hat off to the Georgia Tech ride, because they're riding hard. They don't just give you an easy clear. They make you work for it.
Here's Frost. Frost now gives it over, and Conley working to the right. Now inside, ball is on the ground. Ground ball scooped up. There's Conley. Conley, top of the box, middle, and a bad pass. That will be a turnover, and the Dogs will take over.
Yeah, he needed to put it stick side so he could have got a clean catch and shot, but it didn't happen. So Georgia's coming back with the ball. Let's see if they can come up with a clear here.
That's where they've struggled at today. 6:38 to go, and now here they come out with to attempt to clear is Connor Redmond.
You can see on the other end, on the Tech defensive side, how tight the defenders are playing their attackmen. They're not giving up on anything.
Georgia with a clear into the box. They had to clear it with the defense, and now here's Anderson. Anderson will take it from the left alley and go into the box and stop, and they will set it up and do what they need to do. Phil McCarthy will have it. They fling it around. Holden Exley is in as well now, number 53, a freshman out of Northview.
Let's see what they come up with.
And Here is Holland. Holland at the top trying to make his move in there. Small guy fell down. Ball is on the ground. Ground ball scooped up. Dogs are running recovery. So they have to set it up again now for the Dogs if they've struggled so far. Connor Johnson, a junior, in now. 24 for the Dogs. So Anderson is behind. Anderson now spins it back out. McCarthy has it. McCarthy kicks it back out to the top, and here's Holland. Holland Axley. Long pole defense giving him problems. There's a move inside, taking it all the way as Johnson, and now he'll peel it back out of the top of the box. 5:20 to go.
I like the patience UGA showing because, you know, they don't want to rush a shot when they really don't have it.
Anderson faked the pass. Now he's being worked on really hard by Byers. Tripped up, lost his footing, and Georgia Tech will come away with it. Summerfelt has it. Anderson is hurt.
Anderson's holding his ankle, which isn't good for UGA.
Right ankle.
You don't want to lose your leading scorer.
He is in a lot of pain down here beside the crease, and now they will go ahead and stop play, but he is in massive pain, is with Anderson.
I hate to see this. You hate to see a player get hurt, especially the caliber of Whit Anderson, because he's been really helping this UGA team.
Junior 6'2", 195. He's up off on his own power, but he is favoring that right ankle.
I'll give him credit. I'm going to predict he'll be back, but he comes around the backside from X, and he's a fighter. He's not afraid to cross the GLE and take that shot, knowing he's going to get lit up by a defender.
Very nice crowd here at Rose Stamps Field on the campus of Georgia Tech, and they applaud Anderson now, who is jogging off on his own power. Might be one of those things, might go get a tape job. Now he's upset. He just slammed his cross down across the way and started holding his ankle, so he wanted to make it look as though it wasn't that bad until he could get off. Here's Conley as we return to play. Conley into the box for the Jackets.
I gotta say,
pop. It is a physical game. Yeah,
there
here comes the flag, but it came from the opposite side.
Yeah, that's unusual. You don't generally see that happen.
O'Brien working in behind, and he's being worked on defensively by Jake McCabe.
But apparently the official on the other side had a better look.
I'm not even going to go there. Jack Gorman has it. Now gets it inside. There is Sam Ford. Ford will take it. He's still in the box, but he's deep near almost in that corner.
Good move.
Going to work around. Shot. Redmond. What a save. Shot was wide to the right, and now we'll have the enforcement of the penalty. Georgia Tech now will go a man up.
I think they're calling a goal at cross-check, if I'm not mistaken.
The table is on the other side.
Oh, no, push with possession, 30-second.
30-second man up for Georgia Tech. This will be their second man up advantage. Georgia 1 of 1 on the man up. Georgia Tech 0 of 1 so far.
Both teams seem to be handling the ball pretty well in spite of the wind, which is always good to see.
Here's Holland Frost holding it as Tech now will operate here in the box with the man up advantage. Conley was coming on a cut and they missed it. There's Mertz. Mertz to Frost. Frost spins it. There's a shot. Radke save. Connor Redmond. Redmond has settled down now in goal after giving up those 3 quick goals here at the beginning of this quarter.
They're going to need Redmond to play lights out today because the possessions are far going to Tech.
Yoon has it and gives it up, and now he goes off. The Dogs come down in the right alley. Dogs will work in the box and work it in behind. Whit Anderson has yet to return.
We'll see how they do without Anderson at attack.
Anderson now back in. He's in possession of the ball right now. He's out high on the box. And now here come the long pole defense of the Jackets. Now going to force him to make his move as he gets into the box. Not showing anything right now, favoring that right ankle.
Dr. Lombardo told you he'd be back.
Shot, long goal!
Nice score by number 9.
It was John Newer, and the Dogs have cut it to 3-2. So Newer scores at 2:57, and it's 3-2 Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech now 0 of 2 on the man-up advantage. That was a man-up advantage for Georgia Tech. Georgia killed it and scored.
What they did there, they put a little invert on. They sent that the midi behind at X, and that kind of confuses short sticks sometimes, and it paid off for UGA.
Clay Bately in on the face-off now for the Dogs, number 36. Face-off advantage going there with Hollis Frost right now. Georgia Tech has won it, and they will win this face-off, 5-1.
UGA, just so you know, fans at home, they got called for withholding on the face-off. You can't just lay on top of the ball. You got to get it moving. That's the new rule this year. So that's why you heard the whistle.
Tech now makes a substitution. Now here's Frost into the box. Frost now going to make his move, get into the middle. Man, they are very physical out here today. Here's Mertz. Mertz a shot. Redmond right on point. He saw it coming, made it too easy for him. Yeah. Connor Redmond now going to come, but Georgia dropped the clear. And O'Brien couldn't scoop it up. Peterson is going to chase it down. O'Brien going to pick it up. Georgia all kind of trouble. Mertz, a shot, a goal! Cannot clear, and it leads to another Tech goal, 4-2.
Top shelf left on that shot, baby. That was a nice put away. Time and room, and he put it right in the left corner.
Georgia troubles on the clear have been highly a problem here in this first quarter, 4-2. 3 of these 4 goals have came off of Georgia being unable to clear the ball.
Who did you get on that score? I'm sorry.
That's going to be Mertz, your boy out of Grayson.
There he is.
Loganville, Georgia, and Grayson High School. The senior midi, number 27, Ben Mertz. Face off. Ball rolling. Ball on the ground. Tech will come away with it with Gant. 6-1 in advantage of the Jackets. There's a shot. Goal! Will Conley, and he lets out a nice roar right in front of the Dogs keeper. 5-2 Jackets with 1:58 to go.
Very nice. Another goal right off transition, right off the face. UGA's got to get an answer for the face-off because right now they're getting outplayed on the face-offs, and it's beginning to cost them on the scoreboard.
They're getting outplayed on the face-off. They're getting outplayed because they can't hit the clear. And Tech is taking advantage of the sloppiness and putting the ball in the cage. 5-2, 1:58 to go. The Jackets at home and the band just played them a nice little tune. Crowd still kind of filing in. Tech wins another face-off. Here's Gant. 7-1 the face-offs right now. And they lose possession. The Dogs will come away with it now. Gant tried to make a push down that right side. Now here come the Dogs down into the right alley. Stanton, I think, has it and goes back in, and now here's Anderson. Witt spins it and twirls it in his lacrosse and kicks it back out. Now they'll work it up with Kamen. So to death, Kamen will get it over to Witt. Witt will hold it and fire it back out, and here they come with McCarthy. McCarthy now has moved in back behind on the Georgia attack. Here's Neuer. Neuer holds and now gives it over to Sutterdeath. Back to Neuer. Neuer spins it in his cross, steps into the box, tries to make his move, got checked by Yee. Now he's going to come in, lined up a shot and scored! I like the patience of how he do it. He had the matchup advantage, took the contact from Yee, shot it in, foul in the back of the cage. John Neuer at 1:13, it's 5-3.
Second goal of the day for John Neuer. You know, it's not that Georgia can't score, they just need more possessions.
Need more possessions and need to be able to clear. That has been the struggle right now, the glaring flaw for the Dogs so far, but it's only a 2-goal game. Loving the atmosphere as the crowd continues to file in here at Rostamps Field. 73 seconds to go, first quarter, clean old-fashioned hate. He's Bob Lombardo, I'm Joel Hilsman. We are glad that you are with us. Georgia Tech 7-1 advantage, 8-1 advantage now in the face-off. Mertz gets it inside, and then he was checked by Buck Woodcock. Woodcock came and tried to check him a little hard, then he peeled off of it. Here's Conley. Conley spins it back out, and the Jackets now will set it up under a minute. 52 seconds to go, and there's Radke. The Jackets are in white. The Dogs are in black.
Wait for probably settle down, wait for that last shot.
37 seconds to go. It's out of the box at the moment. Radke now will step into the box, angling right down the side and going to go all the way. Long pole defense coming up on him is Clay Bately. Radke going to come from behind, shot in the front, no. Ground ball, it's kicked up in the air. Tech will recover. 15 seconds across to Radke. Radke tried to put it in there, it wasn't there. Redmond had that corner, had that near post seal because he was going to try to dump it right in there and sneak it by him. He was unable to do it.
8 seconds left. We'll see what they can get a shot off.
Holland Frost with it at the
5,
top.
4.
Frost gets around the screen. Shot. Low.
With 1 second left in the period.
Chris O'Brien. 6-3, and that will end the first quarter. Georgia Tech and Georgia. O'Brien with that goal to make it 6-3 with no time remaining. We've got a good one here from Rostamps Field. Come back, Georgia Tech, second quarter action right here, Lacrosse Fire TV.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. A Joke for Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
We welcome you back to Rostamps Field. We'll take a look at the Georgia Bulldogs. I mentioned they are undefeated, and you see them sitting there at 12-0, and they're hanging pretty tough right here with Georgia Tech and the Dogs now. As I mentioned, not that high scoring of a game. They've only scored 20 or more goals one time this year. They did that over in Texas when they played against TCU, 143 goals. So they're averaging 11.9 per game, giving up 5.08. 2-1 in games decided by a goal or less, and right now they're trailing 6-3. But the trouble for the Dogs is the clear, Bob.
The trouble for the Dogs is Holland Frost on the face-offs because he's been winning them.
8-1.
He just got another possession because this guy for UGA.
9-1. So here's Frost. Frost lost it on the ground. Frost going to chase it down, pick up his own ground ball, and he'll spin it back in to O'Brien. O'Brien now going to come in with the attack. There's Peterson. Peterson, a shot, low goal! Tim Peterson fired it in there. 7-3 Jackets.
Third goal of the day for Peterson. He wants the UGA crowd to remember his name.
At 14:44, and the thing about Tech, man, they are just piling on the goals quickly, almost like avalanche.
They've had a number of games where they put more than 20 goals up.
4 of them to be exact, and they actually have 3 in a row entering this game.
So they can score. Their goalie can play hot. UGA needs to find an answer to the ride and find an answer to the face-offs.
Andrew Yee comes in and wins that face-off, took it right away from Noor. Georgia Tech is dominating the face-off. Shot high, wide, no. 10-1 in the face-offs. Tech in the white, they're moving right to left as we flip the field for this second quarter. 30 seconds gone by. Georgia all in black with the red numbers, but they are not easy to see from this perch.
Bulldogs have got to step it up a little bit. This game is still a game. It's not out of hand by any means.
And as you mentioned, they've shown that they can score. Right now, though, it's the clear and the constant possessions and the face-offs. So they're not hurting themselves, and now they're having to play a lot of defense. And Tech offensively is just too good for that.
Well, Tech does a nice job of being patient. They don't force it. If it's not there, they don't force it. And that's a sign of a well-coached team.
Kevin Chatlin is in for the first time.
And just as I say that, he guys the best. The ball gets knocked down.
Ford takes it and spins it across, and now here's Chatlin. Chatelain gonna go into the box. What a shot he took right there from Noor. Now he spins off Noor. Chatelain still wants to make a move, but now has to give it up. They'll go back in behind.
I like Noor. He says, I can score, but I can play defense as well.
Ford will spin it back out to the top, and the Jackets will work with it. Jack Gorman making his appearance now here in the second quarter. Chatelain picked up his own
Moving
ground
pick.
ball. Yep, moving screen right there. It'll be a turnover for the Jackets. Dogs ball.
Sorry, you can't be leaning on those picks. You got to sit still and let the guy run his man into you. All right, here's another opportunity to make it clear.
Alex Gasta,
Oh.
a long pole in, and yeah, the Dogs get the clear, and they get into the box, and now they will set it up. Kick it back out to the top. Now here's Carruthers. Check it, and that's Noor. Noor with the 9, Carruthers with the 8. Here's Kamen. Kamen steps into the box, now gives it over. Here's Carruthers. Carruthers spins it back in, back behind to Anderson, and now the Dogs will try to set it up and get something going. Trailing 7-3. The wind is whipping, but it actually feels good. It is a beautiful spring day, 55 degrees, a little chillier than you expect, especially now hitting mid-April.
It was warmer when we did the Michigan State Tech game than it is today.
Almost 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was in February.
So Georgia at the moment being extremely patient on offense, working it. Shot wide, saved by Summerfeld. Good. The shot was wide. Corey Phillips on the shot, and here come the Jackets on the clear. Get it into the box, and the clear is complete. Here's Peterson. Peterson gets that screen. Now Peterson going to go back around, has it in his left hand, goes back behind O'Brien. O'Brien tried to flip it in the middle to a cut. It's a turnover. Here come the Dogs back this way. Dogs coming on the clear. They got a transition break. Here comes Kamen. Kamen going to move into the box. Now you have to slow it down and give it up to Anderson, and they'll be patient now. So they weren't able to score the fast break transition opportunity there. In the right alley is Kamen, and they'll spin it back out to the top. And the Dogs will set it up.
They did the right thing and not force it. The fast break wasn't there, so they pulled it out, and now they're getting into their setup offense.
Anderson back in behind, and here's Carruthers. Carruthers now spins it back over there on the left side, still in the box, now passes it back out of the box, top of the box, now here's Kamen. Kamen set it, lost it. It was sitting on the ground for 3 seconds almost, and it's a turnover. Now here come the Jackets, Holland and Frost. Frost now going to jog it up, makes a move, gets into the box, he's in the middle, looking for a shot, it's not there, he passes off, there's a kick pass to O'Brien. O'Brien couldn't get it cleanly, now he peels it back out, good long pole defense. Looking now, gonna shot, nope, gonna go back in behind, and now Tech will be patient with it with Peterson. Peterson will spin it back out to O'Brien, and the Jackets
Holland made a nice skip pass over the top left, handle the ball.
Tech had to get back on side as they made a substitution. O'Brien now gives it over. Here's Radke. Radke dumped it right in the middle to Mertz. Mertz shot wide. Chase back. It'll stay with the Jackets. I don't know if we can get a shot of the flag just to give you some kind of idea of how the wind is just kind of whipping all the way around in here, and it's kind of almost like a little cove, just a little bit. Not much, but almost kind of like one. Shot. Redmond on the save.
Nice stop. Nice stop.
Dogs must get something going. 10:20 to go, second quarter. I'm Joel Hillsman. He's Bob Lombardo. Glad that you're with us. Clean old-fashioned hate with the lacrosse sticks. Oh, he knocked the pass away. Good defense. Tipped it away. Here's Gant. Gant now going to come away with it. Gant now to Mertz. Mertz now steps into the box. Mertz now will hold it. Mertz being wanted to take a shot. It wasn't there, so he's going to fire a pass. Bad pass. Indecisive there. He should have just came with the easy when he kicked it back to O'Brien. He tried to go across to Conley, and a turnover.
You should have just went up top, let him settle in, and you don't want to get too anxious. But it was another good ride by Tech.
Nice ride, and then a play defensively there to tip that clear pass. Georgia now will come up here. They are in the right wing area. Jake McCabe gets it across the midfield line, and the Dogs will get the clear as they get it into the box, and they've got odd numbers opportunity. There's a shot. Goal! The opportunity was there, and a goal for the Georgia Bulldogs. Whit Anderson is in the books. 7-4.
Been waiting for my neighbor to put one away.
There you go.
It's a nice shot. It was patient. Put it bottom left, bottom right, I should say.
9:36, and it's 7-4. Well, Georgia had gotten it within 2 at 5-3, and now they are have it within 3 at 7-4. Largest lead of the day was 4 for the Jackets.
It all started with the clear. Good clear, and they had an opportunity, and they took advantage of it.
And saw the opportunity.
Right.
Face off
Give it to Tech.
again. Jackets now will work it. The shot is wide. And it will go as Tech will remain possession. So it will go as a shot, and Tech will take it out from back. We start the clock, 9.5 to go. Here's Conley. Conley works it
Skip
across
pass.
to Gant. Gant tried to make a jab to the left and come back to the middle. It wasn't there. Good long pole defense there by the Dogs. On that defensive effort, there was Lawson Ives, number 7. Back in behind is Peterson. Peterson going to spin. Long pole defense came in there, would not let him turn that corner cleanly and forced him back out. Good job defensively. Gant now going to go right back in to O'Brien. O'Brien now, and the Jackets will set it up. 8:50 to go. Makes his move. Goes around the Peterson screen. Nothing there. Georgia defense now kind of holding the fort right now at the moment. Making the move. He tries to bend inside is Gorman. Gorman has to give it back to Ford. Ford over to O'Brien. O'Brien had the shot. Gave it up on the pass. Spinning. Shot by Gant. Wide right. No.
It was a nice slide just before that second pass.
And
Prevent an
now
easy
we have
shot.
a timeout call with 8:33 to go. Georgia Tech calls the time. Georgia defense making good play. 7-4. Jackets on the Dogs. We'll return in just a moment right here. Lacrosse Fire TV.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. A Joe for Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
Timeout back here with you at Rose Stamps Field on the campus of Georgia Tech. 57 degrees, Bob. It warmed up 2 degrees.
Oh, lovely. I got my shorts on.
Good. The wind coming out of the west-northwest at 22 miles an hour.
I'll be glad when it warms up to 70 degrees.
It won't be by the time we're out. Trying to solve a problem that the Georgia defense has given them here over the last minute and a half of this possession. 8:25 to go. Ground ball out of bounds and a turnover out of the timeout, and Coach Kevin Lovett cannot be pleased with that.
No, you never want a turnover right when you get possession out of a timeout. Someone wasn't paying attention.
Georgia has had trouble with the clears all day, and Tech will come away with it. Here's Gant. Gant with the pass to Peterson. They got a 2-on-1 break. Oh, it was just a beautiful setup. Oh, I got my basketballs got to come out. That's just give and go.
Give and go is right.
Conley with the goal, Peterson the assist. 8:04, and the Jackets now lead 8-4.
Nice play coming out of it. They lost possession, they got it back, and boom, put it back in the net.
Off of another Georgia mistake. The Bulldogs have really struggled with the clear and the sloppiness today, and they've also struggled on this thing right here, which begins the game. The face-off. They've won 1. Tech has won 11. Tech has won 12. 12-1 in the face-offs. And if you're Coach O'Hara, you just cannot be pleased with that. That discrepancy is just way, way, way too much. But you look on the scoreboard, it's 8-4. But you're back on defense, and you had a good defensive possession, forced Tech to get a timeout. They came over with a turnover. You were unable to clear, and they scored. Mertz's shot is no. It'll bounce off wide and go out of bounds, and Peterson will pick it up, and they'll work it now for the Jackets. Peterson in that right alley over to Conley. Conley in the right alley, now back out to Radke. Radke faked the pass, now has it in his cross and twirls it, now spins it over to Mertz. Ben Mertz now going to take it and dump it down in behind, and they'll work it around with O'Brien to Peterson. Peterson spins it back out to the top, all the way back out to the top now with Radke. Radke gonna try to get a head steam on. It's not there. The Frost. Frost, a shot goal! Holland Frost! And that's the biggest lead for the Jackets at 5. They lead 9-4.
Holland Frost has been doing damage on the faceoffs, and now he says, let me get a little action in the goal. And he puts one away.
7-18. Tech goals coming fast and furious. I mentioned, and you talked about it earlier, how they've scored 3 straight goals in a row. They've had 23 goals, 3 straight games of 20 or more goals. They've had a season high 23 goals twice, one versus Alabama and one versus LSU. And here it is, face-off time again now. And they have absolutely dominated the face-off. And they will win this one again. It's almost comical now. 13, and a shot.
Nice save.
And a save by Connor Redmond. Now Georgia going to try and come back quickly here and get this clear. Yee, good defense right there at the midfield line. They give it across, spin it across. Here comes Woodcock. Buck now going to take it across the midfield line. He'll take it into the box, and they get a clear. Hands it over to Carruthers, and now they'll have to get it set up with the attack. 6:45 to go, and here's Kamen. Suddath now going to give it over, and here's Carruthers. Carruthers and Anderson now going to have to get it going. Witt is back in behind. He spins it back out to the right, and they'll kick it all the way back out to the top and set it up. Now they're going to work with it with Newer. Newer now gives it over, and now here's Kamen spinning it in his cross, and now they'll kick it and fire it back around. Going to be patient now under 6.5. Newer going to try to get a headstrong run on Newer. A shot wide to the left. Sommerfeld was in, and coming away with it, Byers, he lost it. Will Byers, when you talked about him and his strength and defensiveness with his long pole, he's had a quiet day so far.
He's been keeping Whit Anderson under bay.
Sam Rubin now in offensively on the attack now for the Jackets as they get it down into the box, and they'll set it up now. Under 6 minutes to go, and the Jackets now with their largest lead of the day at 9-4, now going to try to pack on some more.
Just going through their exchanges and getting their offense set up, bringing men on, being patient. In an open set right now.
Chatlin takes it, gives it over. There's a move by Gorman. He spins in, shot bounced in front high. Recovered in the back.
Nice move by Gorman in tight places right there.
Conley gets a screen from O'Brien and couldn't use it. Long pole got it in and tipped it away. Good job defensively by Aaron Amon. Amon smacking at him, but Georgia Tech going to recover. Now here's Conley. Conley got popped. There's Peterson. Peterson looking for it. Nice break up. Nice defense there. Good defensive effort coming in by Alex Gasta.
Very nice
Did
job.
not let him turn that corner and get that middle shot off. Here's Conley from behind. In front. Goal! No, we're going to have crease violation. Let's see.
No, we're going to get a push in the back. Goal is good.
That's going to be O'Brien on the goal at 4:45. The goal is good. And it's a 10-4 Jacket lead. O'Brien, another goal.
I believe that's Chris O'Brien's third goal of the day.
They're racking them up. They have 10 total. And now the Dogs call time with 4:45 to go. Tech has opened it up to a 6-goal lead right here on Lacrosse Fire TV.
Hey, let's go over the goals for Tech.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Out of the timeout, Joel Hillsman, Bob Lombardo back here with you. Wonderful crowd here at Rose Stamps Field, downtown Atlanta, Georgia, on the campus of Georgia Tech Institute of Technology.
I'm overlooking the crowd, and we got people bundled up in their best winter outfit, guys in shorts and T-shirts and sandals.
I see the sandals as well. I like the crowd. I see a lot of red down here, which I'd like to see that for the Dogs. They are in black, but look at this. They are getting a black eye with the face-offs right now. Uh-oh. Shot. Goal! Chris O'Brien with his 4th goal of the day, and the lead balloons to 7 now, 11-4.
O'Brien just scored just before the timeout, comes out of the timeout and puts another one in.
You know how fast he did that? 12 seconds. 4:34.
And you would think the kid from Mira Beach, California, would be a little chilled, but he is heating up.
Manhattan Beach, California, Mira Costa High School.
I'm sorry, Manhattan Beach.
No, he's not a little chill. He's having fun right now. The number 2 ranked team. They're trying to find a way to jump and see if they can get the number 1 with Chapman. Georgia trying to crack into that top 25, but now they're looking at a 7-goal hole, and they are actually getting obliterated on the faceoffs. Georgia Tech wins the faceoff. Here's Mertz. Mertz steps inside. He wasn't there. Pass was knocked down. Mertz was able to pick up the on-ground ball. Now he's going to spin it back out to Gant. Gant now fires it across, and they'll set it up Holland Frost. One thing I will say, Bob, not because I've seen Tech more, but they are bigger, and they are a little bit more physical than the Georgia Bulldogs.
You know what? This is the second time I've seen Tech and first time UGA, but I have to agree with you on that. If you look at their defense, the Tech's defense, they've got some big boys over there.
Frost will spin it to Radke. Radke to Mertz. Mertz now will try to step into the box. 3:45 to go. He does. Mertz now going to spin it over. They're going to go back in behind. Trying to come from behind is O'Brien. Back to Peterson. Peterson with a jab step. Peterson now moving to the left. Peterson now moves back to the middle. He spins back. Nothing there. Good long pole defense there. And that was good defense coming in there by Evan Sather. Sather with good D. Here's Mertz. Mertz coming in on the attack. Nothing there. Now he spins it back over to O'Brien. 3:27.
Mertz was smart. He didn't force the shot. He really didn't have his hands free, and he put it back to X, and now they got another opportunity to generate some offense.
Shot wide, and it will stay with Tech. Conley will have it. The Georgia defense in spurts has been well, but Tech's patience has outplayed them, and now he just lost his stick. Conley lost it, picked it back up, and now here come the Dogs. Sather with it. Sather going to try to stay in bounds. Sather does. Sather going to cross the midfield line. They need to get it into the box. Sather tiptoeing down this line. He gets it into the right alley. It's still not in the box. Now it's a ground ball. He lost it. Ball is on the ground. And a turnover. It will go back to Tech.
Pushing it back on the loose ball. We're going Tech.
Tech quickly coming back this way. They get it in. Now here's O'Brien. O'Brien has it. Now they spin it back to Peterson. Peterson behind, and Peterson really getting worked on, hammered in there. Good by Alex Gasta.
Nice pick off by the goalie.
Yeah, Connor Redmond came in there and got that pick off on that backside. Redmond, the sophomores played pretty well. I mentioned coming in 70% with 112 saves. Dogs a successful clear. That is always a challenge so far for the Dogs here in this contest. And Jack Salas was working with it. We have a timeout call, and the Jackets will call this one. 2:19 to go, 11-4, Georgia Tech with the lead. Outside of the domination on the faceoff right now, people, it is 15-1. Georgia's still not far out of it, but right now that lead is ballooned to 7, and the offense has slowed.
Yeah, they got to pick it up on the offensive end, UGA, if they want to get back in this thing. They got to get a couple of more possessions and start putting the ball in the net. Right now, I credit Tech's defense and their ability to clear and their ability to ride really hard.
Just looking over the crowd while you were talking, I was listening to you, but now I see sandals, a tank top, and some shorts. It is 57 degrees, and the wind is gusting anywhere from 15 to 20. It was 22 miles an hour when we started the second quarter. 2:19 to go.
Unbelievable.
And Georgia Tech pep band is here as well. Tech ranked number 2 in the nation. Clean, old-fashioned hate the Dogs and the Jackets right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia has won 12 in a row. Georgia Tech has won 10 in a row. Someone will lose for the first time today.
I believe Georgia still has 2 more conference games to go, and I think Tech has 1. So it'll be interesting. See how they finish out in the conference.
Yep, before you get into the playoffs, and that is the SELC, Southeastern Lacrosse Conference.
And for you fans, the first round of the playoffs, SECL will be at Georgia Atlanta Christian.
Yep,
Greater Atlanta Christian.
Greater Atlanta Christian. It'll be right here in the Atlanta area, just showing you the continued growth overall of lacrosse in the South, but particularly here in the Deep South and in Georgia.
Well, it's nice to watch both these teams. They got a lot of homegrown kids playing, coming right out of Georgia, contributing to their teams, and that's always good to see.
He made his move. Long pole, Dogs working with it. This is Carruthers. Carruthers goes back in behind. Here's Whit Anderson. Whit all the way around, shot knocked away. Good stop in there by Sommerfeld. Sommerfeld, the former Pope Greyhound. 90 seconds to go here in this first half. Georgia Tech with a commanding 11-4 lead.
We're going to need to see Whit Anderson take a little more of that, few more of those moves, because he's got to help generate this offense. He's their leading scorer, probably their general on the offense, and he's got to take over.
Wonder if the ankle is bothering him, and right now just trying to play through it until he can find maybe a groove here to be able to power through it here in that second half. Now, don't know.
Very good point.
Shot high, and it will stay with the Dogs. 1:06 to go. Lacrosse balls flying all over the place here at Rose Stamps Field. Very family-friendly atmosphere on a beautiful sun-splashed Saturday afternoon in Georgia. So Neuro will have it, and he'll come on the attack. Got popped kind of hard there, and they pushed him off. 11-4. A goal right here would really do Georgia's confidence well.
Yeah, getting one just before the half would really help him.
Phillips gives it up, and now the Dogs will set up and try to operate with 30 seconds to go. Here's Phillips. Corey Phillips now going to come on the attack. Phillips goes right by Conley. There's the shot. Goal! He snuck it right beside Sommerfeld, who tried to skinny up with the post, but it was too late. And a goal for the Dogs. It's 11-5.
It's Corey's first goal of the game, but a big one going with only 20 seconds left in the half. Give Georgia a little bit of a boost. See what they can figure out, and maybe during the halftime figure out how to clear the ball.
And get a face-off.
Yeah, that's, Holland Frost is just having himself a day on the face-off.
And he and Yee both have been successful. Frost came in 89% on the face-offs.
Yeah, that's an astounding number.
26 of 29 coming in. He and Yee today have combined to win 15. 16.
Well, got to get it in the box now.
Quickly. Clock is not running. Now it just started. We got 3 free seconds of lacrosse there.
Oh.
Ball is on the ground. Holland Frost will scoop it up with 10 seconds. Frost now steps into the box. Frost going to try to make his move. If you're Georgia, you want to protect that cage. 5 seconds. 4, 3, in the middle. Gant can't get a shot off. Pushed around, and we are at the end of the first half.
There it is.
The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 11. The Georgia Bulldogs 5 is clean old-fashioned hate here in SELC. Right here, halftime. Tech leading 11-5 on Lacrosse Fire TV.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. A Joe for Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
We welcome you back into Rose Stamps Field here on the campus of Georgia Tech in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Joe Hilsman, Bob Lombardo, glad that you're with us. I want to give you a programming reminder right quick. Coming up later on here on Lacrosse Fire TV, it'll be Pope taking on McCallie out of Tennessee. That's a 2:30 face-off start right here also on Lacrosse Fire TV. We are underway. Georgia Tech, again, picking up where they left off in that first half, and they win the face-off. And that is their 16th win of the face-offs out of 17. They won 16 of the 17. Georgia only has one face-off. 11-5. Largest lead of the contest was 7 by Georgia Tech at 11-4. Jackets are moving left to right as you view it, and they are all in white. White tops, white bottoms, gold hats, and the navy numbers. Georgia all in black. Black tops, black bottoms, red numbers, and they got the white hats with a little red on the top of them. So Tech working it back in behind. 30 seconds gone by here in this third quarter. Radke has it. Radke to Mertz. A shot. Goal. Ben Mertz with a goal.
Nothing fancy on that one.
And that makes it now 12-5, and that ties that largest lead of the day for the Jackets at 7. 12-5, 14-10 to go, so 50 seconds in. And Tech has done that a lot today. Very quick goals and back-to-back goals.
They're very efficient. They don't waste a lot of time. They get in a settled offense, but when the shots come, they take them.
And the trouble all day, as we mentioned, Bob, has been the Georgia face-off. I do not mean to beat a dead horse, but that horse is beyond dead. But that is what's happening right now, and it's 2-0 so far.
You're just calling it the way you see it. You know, it's just like on the clears. If UGA can't do a better job clearing the ball, it's going to be a long second half.
Tech very confident and very poised now with a 7-goal lead. There's a lot of lacrosse left to play, but the Dogs' troubles, they've got to correct them if they want to get back into this contest. They're going to have to start by getting a stop here defensively. Tech working it back out to the top now at the top of the box, and they'll work it and come around. Sam Ford with the ball across. He steps into the box.
Again, Tech's being patient on offense. They wait till they get everyone settled in, and then they'll run their offense.
Peterson flips it back out. Here's Gant. Gant whipping again. Ford goes back in behind. Conley tried to get a shot. It wasn't there. Good long pole defense there. Gant now getting banged up around. That's O'Brien. O'Brien now tried to give it to Ford. It's a turnover. Now, if you're just watching at home and you want to understand, well, why is it sometimes they give it back to him? If it is a pass, it is a turnover. Right. If it is a shot, and the closest person with the body, they retain that possession. On a pass, it's an automatic, unforced turnover.
Closest person to the end line to the ball.
Closest person to the end line to the ball. Section Bob Lombardo.
3.62 on your scorecard.
Georgia working in behind. They struggled earlier in the game in getting the ball in the box, and then once they were able to do that, they were able to put up a number of goals. But now the sloppy play, not being able to clear it, and the face-offs have caused them trouble all day. And Tech has just been cashing it in like deposits at the bank.
Well, now it's important for UGA to come away with goals when they do have possessions, because now you got a half to play, but that clock is going to become a factor at some point.
So here's Newer, who has had a pretty good day for the Dogs as well. Newer now going to give it in beside, and they go in behind with Anderson. Anderson over the field, McCarthy. McCarthy back over to Sudadeth. Cayman Sudadeth. There's a shot. No. Good shot on goal right there coming from Corey Phillips, who scored the final goal in that first half for the Dogs to kind of give them a little bit of momentum, but it's been seized and taken away. Through the wing area into the box and taking it back out. On the clear was the David Cyron out of Lincoln, Pennsylvania, and Avon Grove High School.
Yeah, Tech's poles are really helping do a good job clearing the ball this afternoon.
And they've actually been quiet defensively, but as you mentioned, they've been able to get the clear. Now Tech want to get their numbers right. Radke will run on offensive.
Got two more guys coming on before they run their offense.
Radke had to pick up his own ground ball. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien spins it back to Mertz. Mertz now will flip it back out to the top. Frost makes his move. Frost, a shot. Goal! Holland Frost knew exactly what he wanted to do, did it, and scored. Back of the cage, 13-5 with 11:03.
You know, on the replay, we can't see our monitors, but you can see that he initially looked like he was going to shoot, then pulled it down, then finished. And I think that kind of confused the goalie a little bit.
A little dipsy-do.
Yeah, he just kind of, you know, reared it back, and then he took his finger off the trigger, and then he pulled it.
A little dipsy-do. We've got a fat head down here. Don't know if we'll be able to get that, but someone's got him a big head down there.
Fat head.
I said fat head, not the thing you throw on your wall, but the big head, the big heads down here. It's a wonderful crowd here. This is also the 45th reunion anniversary weekend here at Georgia Tech, and of course that has helped the crowd. Andrew Yee wins that face-off, 3-0 here in this second half.
Now we got a push in the back. Another face-off for Tech.
Tech now can take their time. They are 0-2 on the man up. They'll have the man up here if Georgia gets the touch. Here's Conley. Will Conley going to go back in behind, and now we've got a whistle, and now we'll have the penalty enforced. 3-man crew, and the table is on the opposite side. 10:40 to go, 13-5. The Jackets leading the Dogs. They're beginning to pull away from them. Georgia had got it down to 2 and got it to 3, and then Tech took off on them.
Yeah, and right now Georgia's got to find some answers. How to get some goals on the board quickly, because you're 10:40 in the third, and that time's going to fly by when you're down at this kind of deficit.
Especially with Tech, they can kind of take their time a little bit.
Yeah, and they're a man up. They can just kind of chill, move the ball, eat clock.
Shot. Redmond with the save. Redmond faked on that clear. Tech staying back and being aggressive on defense to force Georgia into a clear. So Redmond now is going to have to fire it up ahead, and here they come. Going to try to come out, get it past the midfield line at first. There's Kamen. Kamen makes his move. Now he's going to go down into the left alley. Now he might as well go on into the box, and they got the clear. Kamen goes across.
Their best clears have been a one-man clear, getting the ball to one midi and letting them just take it across.
Carruthers holding as he walks into that right alley, and the Dogs will set it up. Anderson is back in behind, and now he receives the pass from Carruthers. Anderson being guarded by the long pole of Danny Coughlin, who's making an appearance, the senior out of Marist.
Most of the first half you had Byers covering Anderson, but now they kind of switched it up a little bit.
Byers has pulled out now. The Dogs being patient with it now, and here's John Neuer. Flip it back. Here's Neuer. Neuer holding it. A junior, 6 foot 195. Neuer gets it back in behind. Now here's Anderson. Witt going to try to make his move. He had a little dipsy-do. Good defense by the long post. Byers came in with that help, just as you spoke of it right there, and also helped Coughlin.
Tech does a nice job on that slide, and they turn back offensive players all the time with that second man.
Anderson shot, no. Ground ball scooped up, rolling around. Anderson is going to be able to pick up the ground ball, keep it in the box for Georgia. 8:40 to go. Georgia trailing by 8 and desperately needing a goal as the lead continues to balloon for the Jackets.
They need to get some momentum. Georgia needs at least two, 3 goals in a row to kind of get mentally back in it. Not that they're quitting. It's just gives you a little more fire when you get a couple of goals strung together.
Dogs being patient here on this possession. Working in behind, trying to make his move is Phil McCarthy. It's on the ground. They're going to come away with an empty trip, I believe. Yep, scooped up by Summerfelt. Matthew Summerfelt in goal. I talked about the Georgia goalie, but Summerfelt coming in with good numbers as well. 73% saves, 81 saves, and 29 goals against coming in. There's a spin move. Nice little spin coming out this way. Brian Duffy, a freshman out of Andover, Massachusetts, is into the contest now for the Jackets. Jackets now sprinkling in a little depth. The defensemen, as they get back on side here, they'll go with their big hosses. Here's Conley. get set as Brian Wagner was in, and now he goes out. Here's Radke. Radke to Mertens. Mertens to Radke. Working left of the box. 7:10 to go. Radke is back in behind. Radke twirls it in his cross. Makes his move. Fakes. Gonna come back out to the left, and it's not there.
Yeah, they got Radke inverted, taking a shorty behind at X, and those short stick middies aren't generally familiar with playing from behind the goal.
Radke scored, coming out from behind the goal. Right there on you, Connor Redmond. It is 14-5, the lead now up to 9, and Tech is rolling with 6:49 to go.
I got to say, that's a pretty shot. We coach our kids always shoot opposite side of the post that you're on, and he put it low and in the opposite corner, and it was perfect.
Radke with his first goal of the day. Danny Radke, a senior out of Chesterfield, Missouri, and Demetz Jesuit High School. Georgia cannot win a face-off to save their entire life.
They are flicking.
They finally got it. That's their second face-off win of the day. And it took them about 20 seconds to win that one. Working over in the right alley. The Dogs now gonna really have to try and stop this as Tech now is rolling. Here's Anderson. Anderson back in behind. He'll kick it back out. And he'll spin it back, and here's Phil McCarthy. McCarthy, no, we're talking about the lacrosse player, not the musician.
You know, I think UGA would do a little better initiating from the top instead of from behind, because their close defense for Tech is playing really tough.
Johnny Mock is in 17-6'4". I was talking about the size of Tech.
Yeah.
But he might be the biggest Georgia player right now. He and Whit Anderson. Anderson at 6'2", but Mock 17. Johnny Mock, a sophomore, 6'4", 185, out of Johns Creek.
And they move well for big guys.
Anderson trying to get a shot. They have just really taken him away. And like you mentioned, initiating from the top, there may be an adjustment there that Coach O'Hara will consider. It's on the ground.
Most of that, if I remember, their 3 goals, or at least 3 goals, came from coming down the alley. And I don't know why they got away from that, but they might want to think about going back to it.
Tech long pole defenseman lumbered across, tried to get the midfield line, and Witt tried to save it. Nope, it's going to go to Tech. Witt thought he was pushed. Didn't like it right here in front of us and right here in front of this packed crowd. And, of course, our producer, Marcus Burnett, and I were talking at the half. We were just really impressed with this crowd. And we used our best guesstimate. So, Bob, you know, I know you have that excellent guesstimation work. And what do you think the crowd is? About?
I'd say 300.
Okay.
What did you say?
We went, 455.
Okay, that'll work. I'm forgetting about the people sitting on the bleachers. I'm just looking at the people sitting around. So, yeah, I go 400.
And a lot of kids and a lot of sticks and a lot of cross programs and a lot of beer.
Oh, no.
Yes. Wouldn't be a college Georgia Tech game without beer. Sorry. That's a way of life.
I got to say, they don't tailgate like they do at football games.
Well, hopefully in 20 years when we're still doing this game, there may be some.
Oh, boy.
The growth. The growth of
the game is there. All right.
Tech working with a big 9-goal lead and being patient now as we come up on 4 minutes to go. I'm temporarily blocked from the clock. 4:08, okay. So now here is Tech working, and they make substitutions. Chatelain has raced back on out of Otley, Maryland, and Richard Montgomery. Kevin Chatelain, a little midi freshman, number 1. Redmond with the save, and now the Dogs will come out on the clear through the left wing area, now across the midfield line. Amin with the clear, and he'll step into the box. And the Dogs get the clear. Long pole lost it, though. Tech does not play around. You lollygag with that ball in your cross, they're going to come get you.
Yeah, you need to just get the ball to one of your offensive men, and, you're a long pole. You did your job. You got it across midfield. Get it into the box with one of your shorties and go play defense.
Anderson back in behind now over to McCarthy. McCarthy has been quiet, came in with 11 goals and 15 assists. He has nothing to show for it here today so far. A junior, number 27. Oh, here's Carruthers. Carruthers now back to Anderson, who's back in behind. 3:08 to go. Tech with a 9-goal lead, and they have just slowly continued to bust it wide open. Shot bounced in front. Sommerfeld with the save. Go ahead, Bob.
Nice save, but you see, he came down the alley. At least he got a shot off, which I think they need to keep doing. Or, I remember that earlier they scored with Anderson inverting and coming up top.
Good play by Sather to deflect that pass. He tried to come up with it. Tech just so aggressive, and they go for the cross. It's just not easy for Georgia. With Anderson went in there, fell down again, but now the ground ball will be picked up by the Jackets, and there's a long pass going down in that left alley. He's going to be able to get there. Yeah, O'Brien is going to be able to get there and stay in bounds on the back line.
Nice play by O'Brien. Good hustle play.
Getting smacked around by Jake McCabe. McCabe, the defenseman, who has gotten a lot of work with that long pole today. Tech will set it up. Here's Mertz. Mertz twirls it in his cross as they get the offense set. Substitutions as Danny Radke will come on. Radke over the Frost.
Mertz. Still got all the big guns on the up top at the middies.
Yep, the big guns as well. You got it. O'Brien, Conley, Peterson, Mertz, Frost, and Radke. The 6 on the attack currently at the moment for the Jackets. Shot. Low. Good save.
Good save.
Connor Redmond has done a fine job when the save opportunities have been there, when it hadn't been a scramble situation. Popped him. You know what? McCarthy, he heard those footsteps coming. That's why he didn't catch it cleanly in his cross. Yep. And then as soon as he turned to look for it, that was the shot.
And you got to be careful, because in lacrosse they're outlawing the blind shot like they did in the NFL. You have to see the defender coming or you can't light him up.
I disagree with that personally, but
well, I didn't make the rule. I'm just telling you.
You
the
just
rule.
restate. I don't like it in both.
I know.
sports.
I know. I would have been in a lot of trouble back in the day.
I know. A lot of us would have. Here's Mertz. We know it was for safety, but my thing is, if you're running, you're not going to see everything.
No. Sometimes it's a tough call for the official.
Exactly. Bang, bang play. Frost with a little jib and a jab, now going to spin away from it. Frost kicked it up, shot wide to the left.
All right, I'm going to say something here. It might be a little controversial, but I think
controversial.
You get to this 9-goal lead, now everyone starts trying to get theirs, if you know what I mean. The offense begins to break down. Everyone's just going to go one-on-one. Tech just needs to do what got them here. Play good team offense, move the ball, hit the open man.
And we've seen throughout this game, Georgia's defense has played well in stretches.
Right.
Nice fake. Shot, Mertz, Redmond. And Redmond has done his job. There's another save.
It's a nice play by Christopher O'Brien. I'm sorry. Eric Reynolds with a nice lift check on that shot. Didn't have much on it.
The story in this third quarter, the Dogs have not scored. Tech 3-0 advantage as we come up on the final 8 seconds. But here's Kamen. Kamen shot in there. Shut up, Joel. He just scored. Kamen a goal.
There it is, right down the alley. And he's been the best guy to clear the ball for him all day long. Good job.
With 6 seconds to go. So Georgia avoids a scoreless quarter, and the Jackets lead the Dogs 14-6. It's down to 8 again. And I think your assessment of that, Bob, was right spot on, because that's where they got it. And they may have to use a lot of that quickness now as an adjustment here going into this fourth quarter.
You gotta give what the defense gives you, and right now the defense isn't giving the close attack much of anything, so the middies have to take charge.
Yee wins that face-off. 2 seconds, 1, and Redmond with the save. He flings it way down. I just wanted to see if it go in. It did not. We are at the end of the third. The Jackets with a 14-6 lead on the Dogs. The fourth quarter coming up next right here on Lacrosse Fire TV.
16.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
This Lacrosse Fire TV broadcast is brought to you by Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. A Joe for Lax, the Andrew Oswald Memorial Fund, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, dedicated to all better.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
This Lacrosse Fire TV.
Here we go. Start of the fourth quarter, 14-6.
That's Bob Lombardo. I'm Joel Hillsman, 14-6 back here at Rose Stamps Field, and Georgia Tech has won another faceoff, their 20th faceoff win of the day, and it is a 20-2 advantage. Mertz over the Gant. Gant, a shot. Goal! Jared Gant, 15-6. It's just been Georgia Tech and the Ramblin' Wreck all day, and they are now opening it up, tying for their highest lead of the game at 15 seconds gone.
Just a very dominating performance so far by Tech. Defensively playing very well in their close attack of UGA. Offensively, their midfield and their attack are all getting in the action for Tech. And
Georgia had cut it to 7-4 with 9:36 to go in that second quarter, and Tech ripped off 4 goals in a row to go up 11-4, and then Georgia closed with the goal to make it 11-5. And then Tech in that third quarter opened up with 3 straight goals. Georgia got one there late. Face-off still on the ground. Tech wins for the 21st time. I'm almost dumbfounded at the disparity in the face-offs. 19 differential, 21-2. Tech with the advantage. And now here is Mertz. Mertz got smacked pretty hard. Ball's on the ground, going to be scooped up as the Jackets now will work it, and they can really take their time now. Here's Holland Frost.
yeah, they have no need for a sense of urgency, Tech, whereas UGA has a big need for that. They need to come out. They got to get some possessions and try to get some goals on here.
Programming reminder, face-off between the Pope Greyhounds and McCallie, Tennessee, right now, 2:30 on Lacrosse Fire TV. And just to remind you of that, we got that programming note because Holland Frost is a Pope guy. That's what made me think of that, just to give you that programming note. It at 2:30 face-off time, which is right now. Shot is no good and wide coming out from behind. It'll be a cross, and it will stay with the Jackets. O'Brien picked it up, 13:43 to go. Working in behind now are the Jackets. He's going to kick it over. Here's Frost. Frost in this left alley. Now pins it back out to the top, and now here is Gant. Gant going to step into the box with a little momentum. Fake to the left, going to go right. It's not there. Good long pole defense by the Dogs.
Nice slide. Nice slide by the Dog right there.
Here's Frost. Frost got in. Frost to goal. Holland Frost right on cue. His third goal of the day, and Tech now finally has a 10-goal lead at 16-6.
Frost just got around his man, a little quick slide around his man, and easy shot. Tough on the goalie.
Tech now 4 goals away from their 4th consecutive 20-goal game. They've got 3 of those in a row. They've been held under 10 goals once this season, and that was against Virginia Tech, and that still was a victory. Tech 10-0. Georgia 12-0. But right now, Tech in full control, and they have won every one of the face-offs right there. Georgia's not even been able to been gifted a few face-offs.
I will say they have been getting the bounces, though.
That's what they say, Bob.
Yeah, I mean,
and sometimes the ball bounces that way.
Sometimes it rolls your way.
That's true. Ground ball picked up by Yee.
Some days you eat the peanut, some days you eat the shell.
I've never eaten the shell. Never. You just told on yourself. You know that, right? I could go for some peanuts right now, though. Some boiled peanuts now. I do like the boiled peanuts.
I'm more of a pistachio man.
I like those as well. My son loves those, definitely.
You get some nice salt and pepper out of Costco. Those are pretty good right there.
There you go.
Give a little airtime to Costco. What do you think of that?
I like that.
Send them a bill.
I really like that. You know what I'm doing tomorrow, though, since we're talking food?
What are you doing?
I'm grilling lamb tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
Grilling lamb.
Yeah, I'm grilling it.
You are a gourmet griller.
No, I'm just like to have fun with the meat. I've already got it marinating today. You know, because I had 2 shoulders, and so had one about 2 weeks ago, and just did that traditional. Now I want to put it on the grill a little bit.
Step it up a notch.
Yeah, put it
now,
on the grill.
Are you a green egg guy or
No, I'm just charcoal in the grill.
Charcoal in the grill.
Charcoal in the grill.
Old school.
Yeah.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Now, I'm not against the green egg. I'm not. I have not used it personally myself. I've had food from it, but I've not used it myself. But when it comes to me and grilling, as long as I got some charcoal, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know. That might be just the southern crazy in me.
No, I think it's good. I think that.
Ain't nothing wrong with grilling with the charcoal and a Corona. I'm telling you.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Enjoyable times. Tech right now having an enjoyable time too. 16-6, a 10-goal lead, 11.5 to go fourth quarter, and they are working in the box again. Here's Ford. Ford gonna go over, now they kick it back over. And they'll work it back over. Gorman has checked back in, Jack Gorman. Ball is on the ground. Conley gonna let it go. It will stay with the Jackets. 11-11 to go. We talked about the man-up situation. Georgia 1 of 1 on the man-up, Bob. Georgia Tech 0 of 2. So we, in essence, a pretty clean game.
Yeah.
Shot, Redmond.
Oh,
it rolled in.
That's in there.
Who are we giving it to? Is that Chatlin or?
Number 1.
Yeah, Chatlin. Chatlin with the goal. Oh, boy. Talk about getting the rolls and the bounce.
That's so tough on a goalie when you think you make the save, you can't find the ball, you turn around, and it's just slowly rolling over the goal line.
10:59 to go. 17-6, and now Tech, that is their biggest lead of 11. And it's going to be a lot of partying with the 45th reunion, which, by the way, I should mention they honored the 1990 lacrosse team at halftime.
1990, no, I didn't play against those guys.
You didn't?
They're too young.
Okay. They had an undefeated season there in 1990, which is also, since we'll just drop this knowledge, the last year Georgia Tech had a co-championship in football, which almost was the last time Georgia won a face-off. They just won that one. There's their third face-off win of the day, 10-41. The Dogs have absolutely struggled all day on the face-off. Through the right wing area, and now coming in, McCarthy lost it as he got into the box. Scooped up by Newer. Newer is now going to take his move and go back in behind. Georgia now will try to set it up. Getting blown away by 11 goals. They really got to fire it up and fire it on now. Axley is in as well. Now here's Kamen.
10:20 left in the fourth.
I don't know if this is the proper term, but if I'm Georgia, I just got to go gun blazing right now.
Well, you got to just, you got to let it all hang out. You got nothing left to lose.
Especially in a rivalry game, you kind of get some momentum and tilt some stuff your way. You never know what can happen. Spinning it is Axley. Axley now going to stop, spin back to the middle, flyers it out of his cross, and they'll work it back in. Now they're working with Johnny Mock. Mock getting a lot of time here in this second half. 17 in black for the Dogs. Back in behind, peels it back out. It wasn't there.
No, it's tough to be there when you got 2 guys sliding on the one guy and he's triple teamed.
Long pole action. That's not Byers right there. That's Jack Topping. I have not called his name much today, but he's done a fine job defensively well and is doing it right now on Witt. Witt can't make the move. Anderson now gets it back in behind. They try to spin it back out to the left. Tech defense now giving them fits. Here's McCarthy. Phil slices through. A shot.
Oh, nice shot by McCarthy.
Phil McCarthy playing a little music on that back net. 17-7. Oh, the Dogs cut it down to 7. I'm telling you, you just got to kind of go with it. At the rate that goals can be scored here in lacrosse. Wait, do we have it? Are they going to wave it off? Now, I saw Summerfelt. Now, I don't know if that was a penalty what he did.
What did he do?
But out of frustration, he took the ball and fired it back down to the other end.
Oh, was there a flag?
I don't know. The score has updated at 17-7, but I did see him do that.
Okay, so he might have got a penalty for delay of game.
Yeah, because he out of frustration.
Nope. They're just giving the ball to
They're
UGA.
giving it to UGA. So, and you know what? That's advantage UGA because they ain't won a face-off.
So we'll give him that face-off.
It might be that bad we have to. 17-7. That has just been a problem for the Dogs, though. We're not trying to make mockery of it, but the face-off advantage is 22-3. But Georgia now with an opportunity to kind of slice into the lead right now under 9 minutes.
See, I don't see any movement off ball with Georgia. Everyone's
Exactly.
standing around. When one guy makes a move, they all are just watching.
Shot in the front by McCarthy, no good. They're trying to set up, and I know exactly what you mean. There is no movement, there is no cutting, there is no space, there isn't anything on the attack for the Dogs.
No. Anderson comes from behind. Nobody's moving up top. They come down the alley. Nobody's moving to the opposite side. So it's easy to play defense when no one else is going to give you an opportunity to get you the ball.
Summerfelt has it for the Jackets, and he spins it over, and they'll come up on the left wing area. Holding it is the long pole of number 35, David Tyron. Summerfelt lost it. Ball's on the ground. Carruthers is going to go. Empty net. Goal. Well, that's one way.
That's one way to get your name in the paper.
Carruthers with his second goal of the day. It's 17-8 now. And that is something that we saw Georgia have a problem with earlier. With sloppy play and not able to get the clear. 8:08 to go.
I mean, well, the goalie was trying to do a little too much, I think, on that play.
Summerfelt was honored before the game as one of the seniors. He's also out of Pope High School, which is in the metro Atlanta area. A lot of, you mentioned the Georgia kids, and there are a lot of New York, California, Northeastern dominance across both rosters, but still the Georgia kids really helping that growth. There's Mertz, a shot, bounced around, flag is down. They're fighting for it back in behind. The Dogs can't scoop it up, and they do scoop it up with a long pole of Amon, but now let's check this flag out high.
You talk about New York and coming from all over the place. There's a freshman on the tech team from my hometown, Massapequa, New York, and I'll give him a shout out. His name is Andrew Bernardi, a nice paisan.
There you go. And the thing about it is I used to work sometimes in Massapequa, so there you go. Yes, sir.
What were you doing in Massapequa?
Back in my research days, we had an office over in Massapequa.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. I've been around. Man.
You've been around.
I've lived in Salt Lake City. Okay?
Holy moly.
Yeah. And Boston.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I guess I picked up a little of that on the way.
Yeah.
But I am a Georgia boy.
Okay.
All right, Tech now working with it. Peterson shot high. Man, he tried to fire that thing in there from about 15, 17 yards away. 7.5 to go.
We apologize. We didn't pick up what that penalty was, but
yes, it is a man-up advantage.
Tech's a man up.
Yep, Tech is a man up at the moment.
So far, they've been shut out on the man up.
Yes, sir. 0 of 2 so far. Pump fake now. O'Brien has to peel it back out. Now going to swing it to Frost. Frost now over to Conley. Conley back to Frost. Frost passes kind of high, but Peterson was able to stick his stick up there and get it. There's a shot. Mertz deflected, picked her up around, back into the cross, and he'll give it back. Here's Frost. He fired it. Man, he had time to wind that thing up like a Bugs Bunny by pitching, and he fired it in there to the back of the net.
That was time and room and time and room.
18-8. Tech now 2 goals away with 6:59 to go from their 4th straight 20-goal game. That's exactly what Holland Frost reminded me of, the old Bugs Bunny winding up the pitch, because it was there. As you say, time and room, room and time, and man, with all that time and room and time, he found the back of the cage. 18-8, 6:59.
And they were patient on their man up. They didn't force it. They waited until they get the right shot and put it away.
Ball is on the ground after the face-off. It'll go out of bounds, and it will go Georgia pleading to get the possession, and will. a face-off win for the Dogs. Jackets up 10, 6:45 less than that to go. Carruthers gets it into the box for Georgia. And now he's over in that right alley. Going to spin away from Cyron, who's guarding him defensively with that long pole. Gets it back in behind Anderson. Anderson at that X spot. Swings it over to the right to McCarthy. Now they get it back out to Newer. Newer, top of the box. Newer going to step in. Newer got checked. Newer going to go all the way. There's a shot. Sommerfeld on the goal with a save.
Coming down the alley, they're getting their shots off at least, which is good. But they got to capitalize and put them in.
Gant wound up picking it up as Tech now still has not completed the clear, and now they do.
Oh,
nice
good
pass.
look.
Fell down in the middle. Ball on the ground. Ground ball picked up by the long pole of the Dogs, and that is Alex Gasta.
Good no call on that. He just kind of fell over his own feet.
Yeah, I was in 100% agreement with that. Because I actually started looking to see if he was going to be reaching for that hanky. Wind now beginning to pick up a little bit. Dogs with Carruthers now going to come on. Carruthers now getting bothered by Cyron. Now he spins back to the middle. Cyron really whacking at him. They go deep back in there. McCarthy coming in from behind. McCarthy picked up defensively. Good job defensively by James Clancy, a freshman out of Marlton, New Jersey, in Cherokee High School.
Sean Carruthers getting a little more active for UGA. He's a Lambert product over there in Forsyth, from Forsyth.
You want to talk about a factory.
But he also actually started his career at Mercer, the D1 program in Macon, and decided to move over to Athens.
O'Brien working in that right alley. Long pole bothered him. Pretty good defense there by Aaron Amon. Amon tried to be active. Georgia just got off to a bad start, was able to corral themselves, but then Tech took off on them again, and they've just continued to take off on them, especially here in this second half. We come up on 4:40 to go. 18-8. The Jackets leading the Dogs.
What I see with Tech is they got a lot of scoring power.
And a lot of depth.
Yeah, it's not one or two guys scoring, it's 3 or 4 or 5, which really helps your program.
4:20 to go. Stepping in now is Chatlin. Chatlin going to make his move. He's pushed away a little bit. Swings it over to Peterson. Peterson had the alley. It opened up. He didn't shoot it. Goes high. O'Brien gets his cross up and knocks it down and picks it up. There's a shot. Redmond on the save. I will say, though, on the save attempts he's had, Connor Redmond has been solid, a young sophomore in net for the Dogs.
He's done a good job today. He really has. He's faced a barrage of shots, and he's done his share of saves. But again, Tech has moved the ball well and gotten open looks.
Georgia now going to come with the clear across over the left wing area, gets it into the box, and the clear is complete. Now the long pole just decided to dump it off Amon, and they lost it. Tech is very active, smacking at that pole. Georgia's going to able to recover it. Here's Jack Salas. Salas has it. They spin it into the net in his cross, and he goes back in behind, and that's Kamen. Kamen takes it, fakes the pass. Now he's going to edge out and move over to the right, and now the Jackets will set it up. The Dogs will set it up. Offensive attack substitutions coming up now on 3 minutes.
That was a good clear by Aaron Amin. Unfortunately, they didn't keep possession, but they got it across midfield and into the box.
Carruthers being bothered by Saran. I mean, he's really whacking at him. Shot low. No, they're going to chase to the end line. Dogs are going to pick it up. Came in now to pop. Got a lick shot. Going to go over to Tech.
Oof. The goalie came out and said, yeah, I'll take that ball.
Sommerfeld now will come as Tech now will try to clear. 2:45 to go, fourth quarter. Tech has kind of seized the moment here in this second half, opened up with 3 straight goals in the third quarter and have not looked back since. 10-goal lead at the moment. Working it inside, Ratke lost it. Ratke going to scoop up the ground ball, and now the Jackets will work on it.
Ratke had a nice move clearing the ball. He went up and under on that defenseman.
Frost over the Mertz. Mertz, a shot. It's wide to the left. Tech will retain the possession with Peterson. 2:16 to go. Tim Peterson, a freshman out of Needham, Massachusetts. I'm not trying to drop there, but I know what it is too. Spent a little time in Boston.
You've been there too?
Yeah. Haven't been to Needham, just know where it
Ladies
is.
and gentlemen, my partner's been all over the United States.
Not as much as you have.
You been to Brooklyn?
Yes, I have.
See that?
Who hasn't been to New York? I mean, if you haven't, that's where you've got to go.
You got to go see New York.
Of course. Now, what I have not done is been in Madison Square Garden. And
What?
Yeah, that's every time I had to go to New York for work, it was either preseason and the Knicks were out of town or the Knicks were out of town. Every single time.
Well, I went to the Garden when a good friend of mine made it to the finals in the Golden Glove boxing tournament.
Okay.
Ernie Olsen lost on a decision.
Something that I have not seen in a while, a good boxing match.
Yeah, boxing.
I do have learned that at the Olympics this year in Rio that they will, for the first time ever in Olympic history, boxing will not wear headgear.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Didn't know that.
I found that out just doing my casual reading at some point. People forget this is an Olympic year, I guess, because of all the trouble that is going on with the water pollution and all of that that's going on down there. But they will have Olympics in August.
Yeah, the Zika virus.
That too, yeah.
You got girls from the U.S. soccer team thinking they don't want to play in Brazil and risk getting exposed to it.
Under a minute as McCarthy works it for the Georgia Bulldogs, who trail 18-8. Here's Anderson, tried to make his move. Anderson shot wide to the left. Anderson has not been as effective today, was injured early, came back immediately, but that may have bothered him throughout here in this contest.
I think it might have slowed him down a step. You know, he sprained that ankle early on, and you know he's worked hard on it, but still, when it's painful, it's painful.
Taken away. Summerfelt comes away with it. Summerfelt twirls it in that big goalie cross. Under 30 seconds to go. So what it will look like, though, is Georgia will hold Tech to less than 20 goals, and in that 20-goal streak, they had got three games in a row with 20 or more goals. Final 15 seconds. Tech not even trying to clear it quickly. And now they will have to clear under 10, and now they get it across. They've gone deep into the bench. There's Andrew Dubose. Spain Park out of Alabama. He played some football there as well. Dubose!
Dubose puts one in.
Will they count it? Let's see.
Adios, Dubose.
It will count. 19-8. Andrew Dubose, a freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama, in Spain Park High School, gets the final goal. I saw the ref say good. They have not changed it on the scoreboard, so not sure if we're going to go 19-8 or 18-8. But either way, Georgia Tech wins their 11th straight game, and they improve to 11-0. Georgia falls to 12-1, their first loss in clean, old-fashioned hate. Man, they're going to hate losing this one as well. Let's see. I think they're technically going to say no goal. It may be 18-8, as the scoreboard still says 18-8. So we'll see if Dubose will get credit for that goal.
Well, overall, very well played game, clean game. You know, in spite of the good old-fashioned hate, I think both teams came to play lacrosse, and today Tech had the better of UGA. But I know down the road these teams will continue to play, and you know, I think there'll be other outcomes in the future.
Both of them will have playoff aspirations in the tournament.
That's
as
right.
we go through the handshakes, and that's why they call it clean old-fashioned hate. There was a lot of smack talking and a lot of physical play, as you would expect, between rivals. And even though it was lacrosse, the sport is continuing to grow. And Bob, we've seen Georgia Tech multiple times now. Well, I begin to follow them just a little bit. Ranked number 2 in the nation. Do they look worthy of that ranking?
Absolutely.
From what we've seen.
From what we've seen, but you know, again, we don't see all the MCLA teams, but they've done a good job. They ride hard. They clear the ball well, and their face-off has been unbelievable. So with possessions, they're just gonna, and they have a lot of firepower. I haven't counted it up, but I would say off the top of my head, looking at the score sheet, we've had 6, 7 individual people score, which is always nice. And I think UGA will regroup. This is what happens as a result of today. Tech gets a first round bye. They're going to win the conference. UGA will play in the first round and most likely be playing at Greater Atlanta Christian when they open the playoffs. So for all you UGA folks, jump over to Norcross, opening round of the playoffs, and you can see your team play again.
Speaking of multiple goal scorers, Georgia Tech finishes with 8 goals. They're not going to give Dubose that goal. 8 goals. Chris O'Brien with 4, Peterson with 3, Conley and had 2, Brian Conley had 2, Danny Radke had 1, Holland Frost had 3, Ben Mertz had 2, and Jarrett Gant had 1. Georgia, with their 8 goals that they scored, Phil McCarthy scored, as well as Carruthers. Carruthers, I think, had multiple goals in this game as well. The Georgia just really struggled. They got it down to 5-3. Then it went up to 7-4. Tech took off, made it 11-4. They led 11-5 at the half. And then Tech opened with 3 straight goals in that third quarter to go up 14-5. Georgia added a goal late from Kamen to make it 14-6, and then outscored them here in the fourth quarter by a total of 4-2 for the final 18-8 victory. And Tech finishing up the regular season 11-0, and they did it on Alumni Weekend, the 45th annual reunion weekend of Georgia Tech lacrosse, and they honored the 1990 undefeated lacrosse team. A very good crowd on a beautiful day here at Rose Stamps Field. Final thoughts, Bob?
Just a great day, beautiful crowd, like you said. Good game, clean game, in spite of, all that old-fashioned hate, as you say. But again, today I think Tech just had a little more in the tank for UGA.
All right, for our entire production crew, and of course our wonderful producer Marcus Burnett, he's Bob Lombardo. I'm Joel Hillsman. The final once again from downtown Atlanta and Rose Stamps Field, the Georgia Tech Jackets, Yellow Jackets, number 2 in the nation, come away with an 18-8 victory over the Georgia Bulldogs, handing the Bulldogs their very first victory. Georgia falls to 12-1. We'll see you down the road, and remember, flip over right now, Pope and McCallie, Tennessee. They're on Lacrosse Fire TV. We'll see you down the road right here
Have a good
on
day.
Lacrosse Fire TV.